Hello Vault Heads, this is the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators. Anyway, I'm today with KOTE 9 coverage, played on the Crucible. This is round 5 against no Kangaphants in Austria, a German team, playing Archon format. You've seen my deck a few times now. In the case, this is the 4th game with it, 2nd game of Archon. So far my deck has won both adaptive games, although I lost one of them, and it lost the Archon game. So yeah, you can see it there. That is a good deck, but this is one of the things about Dark Tidings. Mine's got better amber control, mine's got better artifact control, it's got better expected amber, it's got better creature control, it's got higher power, it's got an extra creature. The only things that my opponent's deck has got better than mine are speed, recursion and protection, but mine has got 5 better areas, his has got 3, mine's got 10 less sass. So I think I've got a chance. Also as well, that is a low amber control score, with the effervescent principle being the standout card, but other than that it's key tax or capture. So if I can get away, then it's going to be hard for him to get back into it. Now, as we've also seen on those other 2 videos, in 3 games for KOTE 9, Chelonias have made 2 of them a combined and total amber of 1 in 3 games. So having 1 in hand with a few other untamed creatures on turn 1 for me is very, very fortunate, although equally I'd argue I'm due that fortune by the fact that Chelonia hasn't turned up in any of the other games. So my opponent's gone into logos and they've played their Maverick, Amphora Capturer, Professor Terato and Bot Buckton. So all mutants now are going to reap for an extra for drawing a card, which is quite a good thing. But I'm going to raise the tide, I'm going to play Chelonia, I'm going to play that Myliobe, I'm going to play the Deepwater Gruin, I am going to play Ambermancy, and then I'm going to pass the turn on 5. Shame it wasn't in check, but you can't necessarily always have everything you want. But that is a cracking turn 2 for me. So this time my opponent Svyper, they have gone into Sanctum. They've put down Champion Anafeel. They've put down Smite, which will allow them to ready and fight with Champion Anafeel, and they fought Badgemagus, which has killed Badgemagus and Chelonia, and also damaged the Myliobe. Okay, I mean, that is a decent bit of creature control there, and the Grey Rider coming down, which will allow them to ready and fight and finish off the Myliobe with Champion Anafeel's good play. So they've done well there to clear the board, but again I've drawn a bit lucky because, as you can see, I've gone back into Untamed. So I've enraged a couple of their creatures, reap with the Gruin, play down the Spore Gorer, which is drawn with the other Chelonia, which is pretty fluky, especially as I've got another creature in hand. So yeah, we've done well out of the Chelonias this game. No grumbles this game, although like I say, that's probably catching up from the other 3 games. So my opponent's gone into logos, play standardized testing again. You know, I keep filling that board, they have to get rid of stuff, so they've done well there because it's got rid of the Blossom Drake, the Gruin, the Chelonia, and got rid of their Grey Rider. So 3 of my creatures, 1 of theirs, so that's well played and well timed. But again, with what they see, unless they've got the effervescent principle, I'm forging a key now. They've then used Professor Terato to reap with that, which will have drawn them a card. They've played Infomorph. They can fight with Bot Buckton if they want to, which they've done. And that's obviously taken out my creature and theirs. So yeah, forged my first key. Turn 4 and I'm already up by a key, so I'm doing quite well. So I've used the Bouncing Death Quark there to drop the Professor Terato. I've put down a Brain Eater, Data Forge just for a Pip of Amber. And I'm just deciding what to use the Think Twice on. And yeah, I'm going to do it, and I'm thinking about that cross purposes to enrage the Infomorph and force it to fight. because again, we're now in a race, and we are truly in a race, and me being able to gain more amber is what's going to keep me ahead. So I've done that. My opponent's gone into Sanctum. They've played Orb of Wonder and captured onto Infomorph because of that. Played Gizzalart Zealot, which will come down ready and enraged and fight into the Brain Eater, which will kill Gizzalart Zealot. And then I've drawn a card, apparently, thanks to Brain Eater's ability. So obviously with these Lares and with the tide being high, we'll get down a Svyper, we'll get down 2 layers of the lake on either side, taunt protected by Svyper, put down Cleansing Wave to just gain a little bit of amber, play Numk with the Fair, take out their creature. I mean, again, shame I'm ending on 5, but 1 key to no keys and 5 amber to 1, and this is going very well for me at the moment. So my opponent's gone into Untamed. They've played down Unoia. A decent effort at the pronunciation there, I've probably got it wrong. Gained an amber, played Cephalus, so now I can't steal. Played another Cephalus. Well, I can't steal if they get to 4, but those are good creatures. Played Resurgence, so now they'll be able to return 2 creatures, either 1 creature or a mutant and a standard. They've returned Professor Tarata to their hand, and they've returned the Grey Rider. Okay, so what else are we going to get? Obviously they can't play those this turn, but then they're playing another Resurgence, so that's obviously the pause there. They were looking what else to get, and they're going to return Book Turn and Gizzalart Zealot, and again they won't be playing either of those this turn because they're Untamed. So they've passed the turn to me. I've just gone into Sanctum, and I'm going to reap out because, again, as we said with the mention of the amber control, the effervescent principle is their only mass amber control. They're going to have to spend pips with Amphora Captura, and no Pismaya's out to increase my key cost. So they've gone into logos, play Book Turn, play Professor Tarato. Obviously there's going to be no reaping because they haven't got any ready logos creatures. I'll say this, they are starting to take the board. 5 creatures each now. But again, the armour on mine, the 4 armour across the board, and the ridiculous massive amount of armour on the Svyper. And they're going to have to take the tide just to start fighting into Svyper. So they've used the Orb of Wonder, and they've drawn Cumex with Orb of Wonder. And they've drawn a card. I mean, maybe there they've used the Orb of Wonder to fish for the Effervescent Principle. Maybe they ought to have just used the Orb of Wonder to get the Effervescent Principle and drop me down from 9. I mean, if they had the Forge Compiler in hand, also as well, you could have pulled the Pismaya, made me Forge for like 9, and then warded it because of the Forge Compiler. But as you can see, that's the second key. And again, do you know what? I mean, yes, I've not seen the Effervescent Principle yet, but or the Pismaya, to be fair, but at 2 keys to 0, it's just like, do you know what? I'm just going to game check again. I'm going to try and make you find the answer if you've got one. I mean, they've got a massive board, it's all warded now, they can do quite a bit of stuff with it, but I'm so far ahead. I would do well not to win this game from here, but they've gone into logos, they've used Professor Charter to reap, and then they've reaped with Book Turn, played Champion Anafiel, and then I've won the game, that one. So yeah, that was a good game for me. Unfortunately, as a team, we won. So obviously, I was Archon. I've won that game. So obviously, we lost Reversal then, and we lost Adaptive. But it happened. So we'll move on to the next round and see how we go there. Obviously, you can expect to see that video when it's done. As ever, I appreciate you watching. Thank you for watching. I'd love to know what you thought of the game. You can get in touch via Facebook, Twitter, email. You can feel free to like, you can subscribe, Also as well, if you'd like to support my content to help me do more deck openings or produce tokens and things like that for subscribers, for giveaways or patrons, then feel free to add me on Patreon. But as ever, may the forge be with you.